Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. Olayimla, Albanawa, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakak, Chodash. Double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Nelson who rule well. Salutations to the Akim out there on the highways and the byways. Salutations to the hopeful elect. Salutations to you speckled birds, you Israelite foreigners. And shalom to the Akwaf, sitting and listening in silence as the scriptures say to do so. Revelation chapter 1, verse 3. Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. Now, there's two very important and valuable things that we must acknowledge. The Lord is blessing those that study, that read, that keep their mind meditating upon the precepts, that's always dissecting this role, okay? So it's mandatory, it's a commandment, it's a given. You know, as they say, reading is fundamental, man. So the true prophets, the true sincere prophets are always going to be studying, always going to be reading, always going to be asking Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah to reveal his secrets to him, to them or him, Salakia. And furthermore, as it states in various precepts, the Lord reveals his secrets unto his servants, the prophets, man. So, and also too, the book of Sirach, chapter 39, the only way to, let's read it real quick. Let's read it. Salakia. Instead of me butchering it, let's read it real quick. And then I'll get back to my other point. You know, we rolling in the spirit. I don't want to write this last edifying. It's going to be a quick hit. This is Sirach 39, verse 1 in the GNT. But it is different with the person who devotes himself to study, okay? But it is different with the person who devotes himself to study, okay? Because as we know, Salaki, as always, Esau booted me out. But as we know, this whole book is the book of the laws, the statutes, and the commandments. A precept is a commandment, okay? Look up the definition for a precept. But again, Sirach 39, verse 1 in the GNT. But it is different with the person who devotes himself to study the law of the Most High. He examines the wisdom of all the ancient writers and concerns himself with the prophecy. So how do we examine the ancient writings of the prophets? We read, we study, okay? And every time, you know, me, I can speak only for myself, but every time I study and I go into the book, I always, it never fails, because Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai got to be dealing with you. I always find something that I missed, and I'm able to line up with a new precept, okay? Verse 32, it's like verse 2, he memorizes the sayings of famous men and is a skilled interpreter of parables. Again, he memorizes the sayings of famous men. So why do you think we're always able to, you know, not myself only, but other brothers always able to quote other precepts, always able to connect things? Because again, we study, we rehearse, we meditate upon the precepts, okay? And is a skilled interpreter of parables, because that's the blessing that Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah has given his prophets, man. And that also goes in what we read in Revelation chapter 1, verse 3. Blessed is he that readeth. So those that are blessed and that read, study, they have all these attributes, all these characteristics, okay? Verse 3. He studies the hidden meaning of parables and is able to discuss the obscure points of parables. So, it's like a Proverbs. He studies the hidden meaning of Proverbs and is able to discuss the obscure points of parables. Okay, so all the main words we've taken out of that is study. Study, 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 readeth. Okay, it's fundamental. So the Lord is going to bless those that's always devoted, locked in. Okay, so again, Revelation chapter 1, verse 3. Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy. Because we also know that prophecy is what we're, waiting for, and what we're devoted to seek and also speak. And that's also to have the spirit of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, roughly paraphrasing, Again, as I just stated, memorizing the precepts, as we just read, of Revelation 19, verse 10, man. So to have the spirit of prophecy is to have the spirit of Yahushua HaMashiach, man. So, the true sincere men are going to study because, we're not only seeking to learn ourselves, but we're also devoted and called to feed those that desire to learn. Roughly paraphrasing again, Sirach 33, verse 17, and also Sirach 24. Okay, but we just don't spew stuff out of our ASS. We just don't say anything. And that's why we also know that we have to study. And why is that? Let's let the Bible talk, man. Let's let the Bible talk. Okay, let's go to the book of Proverbs. Bear with me. Okay. So this is Proverbs chapter 15, verse 28. The heart of the righteous studieth to answer. So not only do we study for our own benefit, but we study because we are first and foremost sincere. We have humility. We have a cautious mindset that we desire, and we're fearful towards the Lord that we feed his sheep correctly and directly through the power and spirit and words of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, man. So we studieth to give the correct answer, the correct discernment, to be able to break down the precepts 144% correctly, man. So we have to study. And we also have to apply that St. James chapter 1, verse 5. Look that up. So again, we just don't speak and do anything. We study to give it an answer, to give the correct answer to the sheep. Okay? Because the sheep desire the true minerals, the true nutrients of this word, man. And we don't want to give them contaminated, corruptible fruit. We want to give them that pure food that's going to help them endure, that's going to help them progress, that's going to help them be built up, to not question the Lord, to have completely, what's the word I'm looking for here? Completely confirmation and assurance from Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Let's say that, okay? So again, Proverbs 15, verse 28. The heart, which is your mind, of the righteous, I don't want to desire we are the righteous, those lively stones, studieth to answer, but the mouth of the wicked poureth out evil things. Because the mouth of the wicked, they're really not concerned about the flock. They're really not concerned about the sheep. As Paul stated, we do everything for the elect's sake. Okay? Again, going back to what I spoke prior, we're not only set up for ourselves and only desiring to be edified and educated from the Lord, but the Lord desires us to share that penny, to double it, to triple it, quadruple it, man. To be able to feed his sheep, because Israel, a sheep can go astray. So we have to, constantly make sure that the sheep is being fed, just like your body desires water, desires vitamin C, vitamin D, fiber, etc. And that's the main thing that you get from this word, man, which again is assurance. It's all the true. What did Yahweh Shah say? It's like, I know I'm everywhere, but I'm in the spirit right now. What did Yahweh Shah say? Man shall not live by bread alone, but every word that proceedeth out of Yahweh Hashem Yahushah's mouth, man. Okay? And he was quoting that from Deuteronomy. And through my studies from this past week, because I'm at the plantation, and Yahweh Hashem Yahushah been putting the spirit on me to study at the plantation, and I'm reading 1 Peter chapter. I'm on chapter 2 now, because back then when I was studying, I could read a whole book in a day. But now when I read a chapter, I may be on that chapter for an hour and a half. And like now, just to speak on this week, when I was reading 1 Peter chapter 1, I'm realizing stuff that I didn't see. Peter was talking about this. Peter was quoting this in the Old Testament. A lot of what Peter said in 1 Peter chapter 1, he was quoting from the old prophets. And he also quoted some stuff from Paul too. And you know, Adawan Ratazah, I'll be able to do a live stream just rolling the spirit on that chapter, Lord's will. Okay? And I'm gonna finish up chapter 2 because I started chapter 2 yesterday, but we got kind of busy, so I wasn't able to proceed. And I'm only on the 7th precept in 1 Peter chapter 2. Okay? But every time, me personally, every time I'm reading the chapter and I'm going through it, I always look at the precept. Where did I see this at already? This sounds like this sounds like that. And only the elect, so like only the Lord's elect, I don't want to rock the side. Hey, yo, that's my man. Only the Lord's elect. Is that a brother? I swear that might be one of the brothers, man. Yeah, Salakia. Yeah, only Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai's elect is able to do what we do, man. Okay, but I'm gonna leave it right there real quick. My phone froze up. I don't know why. Satan is a motherfucker, man. I can't see nothing. I can't see nobody on the chart. Satan is a motherfucker, man. I can't see nothing. I can see myself on my phone, but I can't see myself on my phone. That's crazy, man. I'm froze like a motherfucker, man. But I don't want to rock this out, man. I'll come back after lunch, man. We hear something real quick. Hey, Shalom. Yabba Shemel Shabrak, Yabba Shemel Kakadash. Go into it more. Salaki. Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.